Welcome to Good News Week, and the big news? Dodgy documents, mysterious moles, Turnbull tantrums, Rudd rage, tedious tennis, and the thriller in the chiller. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Jackson is gone. It's a tragedy, not only for his millions of fans, but for comedians all over the world. But humour is an important part of the grieving process, so in the interests of helping heal the world, we'd like to present the following small tribute. Stop all the clocks. Turn off the telephone. The King of Pop is dead. I wonder what colour his ghost will be. For an hour, paramedics tried to give him mouth-to-mouth, but he didn't respond because it wasn't his mouth. I'm sorry. I love Michael Jackson. I love him. It was very disconcerting. Every time they pushed on his chest, it went, woo! I love him. I love the Jackson 5 too. I love the world. In one last desperate attempt to revive Michael, they brought in a 10-year-old boy, but when that didn't get a pulse, they knew... 20 minutes after the story broke, CNN commemorated his passing by playing the Thriller video, which may be the first time anyone's death has been honoured by showing them as a dancing zombie. Even though Michael is gone, he'll live forever. At least the parts of him that aren't biodegradable. Farewell, King of Pop. Punishment. Iran's parliament, worried that killing innocent protesters might be bad for their image, is planning to revise the penal code and scrap stoning and hand amputation. No! They're taking all the fun out of fundamentalism. Is it possible? Could Iran have run out of stones? For a while, they're going to keep stoning, but allow ducking. But with so many hand amputations, it was getting harder and harder to find people who could throw. If they want to improve their image, why not keep the punishment and just replace the stones with Nerf balls? It'll make Iran the greatest place on earth to bonk your neighbour. Bonk. Bonk. King of Pop is dead. Woo. Then the two of us need look no more. Loved him. I loved him. I loved him. Obviously not in a physical way. I was too old. No, you won't laugh at that. Ah, Obama. Not only the smartest, hunkiest leader in the history of the free world, he's also a crack shot when it comes to exterminating flies.
Nice.
Now, where were we?
It's not fair. Not only is their president suave, well-spoken and charming, he's a ninja. It's also uncommon for a president to deal with a fly himself. Normally, he sends in a SWAT team. And somewhere in a dark corner of the White House kitchen, a dozen orphan maggots huddle in a discarded ham hock, wondering when Daddy will return with the president's autograph like he promised. The funny thing is, after swatting the fly, Obama grinned and said, "That was pretty impressive, wasn't it? I got the sucker." The exact same words Bill Clinton once used when Monica Lewinsky had a go at his... And that's the good news.
It's good news week. Someone dropped a bomb somewhere, contaminating the atmosphere and blackening the sky. It's good news week. Someone found a way to give the rotting
Thank you, good evening. Tonight, in the cold, dark depths of winter, the human snuggie, Mikey Robbins. It's a snuggie. Still in therapy after the Comedy Festival Roadshow, the wild thing, Kitty Flanagan. And comedian, author, tall, good-looking one, Tim Ferguson. And they're bracing themselves for the sweet thunder of Claire Hooper. Brilliant comedian, serious actor, naughty monkey, Frank Woodley. And the darling dag, Corinne Grant, ladies and gentlemen, Corinne Grant.
Doesn't take much.
Oh, before we begin, can I just ask people's reactions to the news that the King of Pop is dead?
He's dead?
He's dead. You did.
No, he's not dead. They just haven't changed his batteries.
So you're saying that John Farnham's dead?
In a parallel universe, that may be true. But what we're talking about now is Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I was glued to the footage because I thought it must be in his will that he wants himself dangled out a window over a balcony to show the fans that he's dead. Just to prove it, you know, just so they know for sure.
It's an old joke, but he's not being cremated, he's being melted. And the plastic's going to be turned into toys, so now the kiddies can play with him.
Sad? I'm sad. Personally, I'm sad.
A lot of people are saying it's too soon. It's too soon. It's too soon. Because, I mean, after tomorrow lunchtime, I'd say it's fine. But for now, it's too soon.
There are no winners out of the situation apart from Malcolm Turnbull.
Yeah.
Well, it's kept him off the news for 24 hours.
Frank, you've just completed a theatrical run, I believe.
I was in a play, yes, which was quite good. No, I mean, I'm not my bits. Oh, well, they might have been, but I'm not the person to judge that. But, but apparently people said it was this play based on Voltaire's Candide, and Voltaire was kind of like he was very provocative, kind of like the Borat of, you know, the Enlightenment or something. In fact, there's a famous painting of him in a lime green mankini.
Nice.
Not people...
There was a hamster dance in it, wasn't there?
There was a hamster dance in it?
What more do you have to say?
And I can't believe how good it is you've come on to promote a play that's just finished.
It is coming back. It's going to be in Sydney, actually, next year. So, I mean...
With a name like Candide, it probably comes back every time. So much use.
That's true.
And Jimmy, got something to promote?
Yes, I have. I've got a Doug Anthony All-Stars DVD, Paul, which I'm in.
Normally we don't like the promotion on the show, but look at that.
Yeah. This DVD is the one you want to show, you know, the kids, the dog, your ailing grandmother. Squeeze the last bit of life out of her. There are instructions within it.
And Kitty, last time we spoke to you, you were about to do the Melbourne Comedy Festival Roadshow.
Yes.
Have you finished that now?
Oh, I have finished it.
What was it like?
It was great. I thought it was going to be terrible, and it was actually really good. I know, I should have done this show back before it started, because when it started I was going, oh man, it's going to be rubbish. But God, it was good. You all should have been there.
Well, why do I not roll, Sparky? 20 years ago I did Mr. Squiggle, and that was good too.
When you say you did Mr. Squiggle...
Actually, you know, the worst thing about having sex with Mr. Squiggle is Blackboard stands behind and goes, hurry up.
But it's probably good for a change to see Mr. Squiggle upside down.
Does he have lead in the other one as well?
I think with Mr. Squiggle there's only one lead-based thing. Oh, dear. Corinne, hi, how are you?
Don't look at me to get you out of your filthy trap.
OK, we better start, I think. It's getting a bit hot up here. The schmozzle begins with What's the Story? Mikey, Kitty, Tim. You have the call.
Yes. That's Kevin Rudd.
What's going on? What's that about?
I've got
my colleague.
absolutely no idea.
Oh, come on.
Stumped.
Something to do with Michael Jackson.
It's been one of those fantastic periods in politics, hasn't it, kids? Where you think it's going that way, and so it's like an Agatha Christie mystery. And goes, no, maybe it's going that way.
Well, it's a hard time now, really, for Peter Costello, because he said, that's it, it's all finished, and the next day, Malcolm Turnbull goes, Peter must just be going, and that lousy, dirty, rotten, you know, so, but Peter Costello will be back in the next life as some sort of beetle.
Do you reckon that explosion that you just mentioned, it was a little bit like he went, everybody, I've got a grenade. I've got a grenade. And it's going to go off in 10 seconds. And he threw it over to Kevin, who went...
I was a bit embarrassed to be Australian, actually, for the whole week while this is going on, and we're going, oh, there's an email. Oh, my God, there's not an email. You know what was happening over in Italy? Their Prime Minister was partying with hookers, and his defence was, oh, well, hang on, I never paid for sex, which may well have been the problem. Perhaps if he'd paid, this whole thing wouldn't be in the papers. Maybe if he'd just paid up at the end. And I just think, come on, we are so lame. Utegate, I'm all for Rootgate. That's much better.
They have it, 10 points to them. Utegate, the first political scandal with a dog tied up in the back. Down, Malcolm, bad leader. If you're not across it, lucky. It's quite a tale. The Liberals didn't have a copy of an email. The guy who said he received it didn't come from a car dealer who failed to get assistance from a scheme that hasn't been rorted. The only thing missing is something actually happening. A public servant by the name of Godwin Gretsch is at the centre of the scandal. He's the guy who said he saw the email, or as he calls it, the precious. Terrible. He's been quite sick. Calls for resignation, screams for apologies, howls for justice. One thing is sure, somewhere, Brendan Nelson is laughing his enormous head off. Claire, Frank, Corinne.
Yes.
Prick up your ears.
All right. Skis, aye. A tattoo parlour.
Oh,
this stupid bloody kid.
Oh, what is that? Is that the tattoo artist?
That's the tattoo artist.
That is... Does he know... Like, he couldn't go through a metal detector. Ever. Do you imagine being behind him in the line?
At the train.
And you go, get out of my way!
Hang on, I'm not done.
Wow.
Yes, it's the 18-year-old Belgian girl, isn't it, who apparently, like, told everybody that she asked for 3 stars or something. Her excuse was that she fell asleep while having a tattoo. I mean, if the pain didn't wake you, the sound would. So
She must have had Michael...
She fell asleep getting a tattoo.
Yeah, she had Michael Jackson's doctor and he gave her the same pills.
She said...
They're not ready for it. They're not ready. Corinne, be careful there, they're not ready for it.
She'd be a great spy, wouldn't she? Because, like, if she was captured by the enemies and she was being tortured, she'd just go, carry on, I'll catch a few Zeds.
But it all turned out... It all turned out to be a lie. She got home and her dad went, what have you done to it? I don't know, I just fell asleep and I woke up like this. But that was seriously what she did, and her dad believed her. No, she purposely
The tattoos
got
were
that
real.
done.
When you said lie, I thought she went, just joking, they're just stickers. I've just put all these stickers on my face. And then I think, well, why is that on the news?
They do have it 10 points, and we're going to stop Frank talking for a second. 10 points. An 18-year-old Belgian girl who claimed a tattoo artist covered half her face with 56 stars while she was sleeping has finally admitted she lied. It's like Oscar Wilde said, we're all of us in the gutter, but some of us are looking at a Belgian girl's face.
Wow, highbrow.
Kimberly Fleming initially claimed she asked for 3 small stars on her cheek, then decided to sleep through it. Well, certainly, you know, whenever some stranger's jabbing my face repeatedly with a loud buzzing needle, I get ever so drowsy. I actually think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. It's like she passed out drunk in a fairy grotto. Or, okay, also a little bit like she's been shat on by a rat with a perforated arsehole. So after one fully illustrated round of footy this week, the Robbers team are on 10 points, the Hooper team 10 points. Coming up, the joy of hats.
It's Good News Week. It's Good News Week.
During the break, as we asked Paul Hogan for tax tips, both teams were given 3 clues to a recent strange but true story. Robbins, Flanagan and Ferguson have a B.
No, this really makes the 4 years at university all worthwhile, Paul.
It's B-Man, the least popular X-Man.
Give me back my honey, bitch.
We also...
You can save someone, but only one person. so you're holding off. You're going, is this a big enough crisis? No, I've only got one shot at it.
Of course, a B-man, his only enemy is glass. Hey, kids, if you're ever wearing a hat with a pointy thing in the front, never do this.
Well, Mardi Gras sorted out for you as well, then.
We actually got this in the Michael Jackson estate sale. Don't make me sting you.
It's too early, it's too early.
Too early.
We also have a Band-Aid.
Clearly not as fun as the bee. There it is.
It's for shark bite.
And finally, this.
Oh, yeah. I got all the honey, baby, in the world today. I got the busy bees, which are a hint in a way. 'Cause I guess you'll say, what can make me feel this way? Oh, it's just like the old days. My girl,
Talking about my girl.
yeah, my girl.
Better than the old days because we don't have that idiot there.
Sorry, if you're watching, Dennis, was it Dennis?
Roger.
Dennis Day. Yeah,
What, too soon?
And Hooper, Woodley and Grant have musical equipment.
Hey everyone, let's play some Bryan Adams.
We also have sporting equipment.
That's not enough. I'm green, that's an incredible hot smell.
I just need to point out that that's not mine. Like this, I'm wearing a box. Clearly, isn't it? It's rude. Even though there's clothes underneath, it still looks rude, doesn't it?
You should see it from this close up.
That's what you guys sit around doing all day, isn't it?
Yeah, we love it.
I don't know what blokes you've been hanging out with, but not like that.
And finally this.
Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. Love is in the air, every sight and every sound. You're clapping at a different time than I'm playing, but it doesn't really matter.
Because I can't really sing anyway. So it doesn't... I'm not concerned if you can clap if you want, but I'm not trying to tell you. Oh, love is in the air. Love is in the air. OK, something like that.
We'll return to that magic at the end of the show. Right now, a game called Survey Says. Tim, according to a new poll, 87% of Iranians want to adopt what? A.
New hairstyles? Sorry.
Oh, it is multiple choice. You do get a choice.
Yeah, OK.
But maybe, yeah.
Sorry for interrupting.
That's all right.
Paul's got something he'd like to say.
Yeah, you're bringing back some memories at the moment. A.
That's me. That's Paul and that's Douglas.
Do the Iranians want to adopt A, democratic institutions like free elections and free press? B, even harsher fundamentalist laws? Or C, a cute toddler from Malawi?
Well, the thing with the Iranians is, you know, their leader. I mean, you just have to look at the guy. What's his name is Mahmoud. You know, I forgot my dinner jacket. When really, that's not really what he should be called. It should be Mahmoud, I've brought along my safari jacket. It's great to have a safari jacket leader, and I think that means that they're just getting a little bit more hip, like they're up to the 1930s with pith helmets. I think Iranians, on the whole, would like to soften up the beheading stuff. So it's more like this than just the chop. You've got a bit more time. So I think that's what they're after, too.
So, does that have a letter that is associated with it?
Oh, D for death or A for whatever the first one was.
Let's have a look and see if he's right. A recent survey of American Catholics found 54% support what? Is it A, female priests, B, Satan, or C, the use of torture?
Well, in a way, they all go together. But I do think that 58% of Catholics can be assured of being, you know, a little bit stupid and forward-thinking, thinking that, you know, the girl fad is going to take on. So I would say that it's the female priests.
Can I... Because I feel like people are getting a bit anti you then, because you were being anti-women, but I have to side with you as a Catholic and say we can't actually have female priests in the Catholic faith because we have confession.
Yeah.
And see, I will happily go to a male priest and tell him anything I've been doing. I'll make stuff up. Because look at the situation. I'm a woman talking to a man. What are the odds he's listening to a word I'm saying? I'm 30 seconds into that confession, he's just hearing white noise. Whereas a woman, my God, to be 30 seconds into that confession, she'd be there texting her mates going, you will not believe what this girl is telling me right now.
I know.
So I'm against it.
Let's just see if they're right. Oh, sadly, the use of torture. Who could have known that?
Well, I'm sorry, have you seen the Pope? He looks like a friggin' Bond villain.
So, now, Corinne?
Yes?
Some survey says for you.
I'm still wearing my box and I'm really quite...
Hey, guess what? That's going to make the promo.
You know what? You could keep your tram change there, though, couldn't you?
You could.
Some barley sugars in
And
case
a
you got...
lipstick.
Yes, and a nice little gloss.
Do you know what? I don't think I'd be using the lipstick.
Oh, bad mind. Bad mind. Bad mind. Oh, Frank, yeah, bad mind. According to the 2009 American Wedding Study, how are 19% of brides having their big day funded? Is it A, by their parents? B, by their husbands-to-be?
No.
Love is in the air. Come on.
That from Bitter Girl 21. Ooh, there's some issues there. Maybe you should sort those out before you come to a comedy show. Or C, by their pimps. Surprise, our 21-year-old boys clapped at that.
19% it was. I'm so tempted to say by their pimps. You'd reckon 19% of brides would be hookers, wouldn't you?
But you can't... I mean, it's really hard to get pimps to agree to marriage in the first place, so how would you...
Oh, no, you're not marrying. The pimp is financing it.
Like, yes, I know, I realise that, but, like, he's all, like, oh, you won't be as interested in your work, why would I pay for that? You know what I mean? Like...
I reckon more than 19% are funded by their parents and more than 19% are funded by their husbands-to-be. So I think it has to be pimps.
90% of all young women... What was the actual...
19%.
So it's not 90% of prostitutes who get married.
This is like being stuck in the pub at 4 in the morning with that idiot table next to you.
I'd love to see them at trivia night.
So there are what is it? There are 3 types of people who you know.
What are you saying? I'm saying C.
We're saying C.
I'm saying
Can we see? Can we see if Corinne is right to pimps off, please?
So close.
A new poll of 2,000 men has found 42% think they'd struggle to live without what? Is it A, their wife?
No.
First time I've done this, I'm going to give 2 points to the audience. A, their wife, B, their shed, or C, their liver.
What was the start? I missed the start.
42% said it would be hard to live without.
Oh, it would have to be their shed, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Let's stop there before we have a discussion.
I'm going with B, their shed.
Shed. Is Corinne right?
Yes!
According to a new survey of 2,000 owners, the average bloke spends almost 13 hours a week in his shed. A shed is where a man keeps all the other tools that don't work. 46% go to the shed as soon as they get home. It's the great Australian dream. A man spends 8 hours at work, then gets home from work and heads to the workshop to do some more work on constructions that ultimately don't work. A lot of women actually like men's sheds. They don't think of them as escapes. They think of them as kennels. Ladies love it. I think women are just annoyed about the amount of time we spend in the shed. They never consider, do they, that maybe we're building something for them. Huh? Which is good, because we're not. But women have their own sheds, really big ones. They're called Maya, Target and Danos Direct. Yeah! Over there, 14 points, over there, 14 points. After the break, the return of the couch. This is Couch Potato, the game of dark secrets and black leather. Kitty Flanagan, come and get comfy.
Just a very casual, natural walk. Clearly comfortable with this.
She's a lady.
Are we ready? Word association.
Yes,
Here we go, Kitty.
yes,
We're gonna fire
go.
off.
Hurry up.
Nightmare.
Nazis. I had a recurring nightmare when I was a kid that the Nazis were marching down the driveway and...
This is a driveway in suburban Australia.
Yeah, I missed the ending of the war where they actually got beaten. I was still around.
Kids.
Barren. Come on, that's a funny word, isn't it? All these people that walk around going, oh, yeah, I'm just a bit sad because I can't have kids. Just say you're barren, it'll get a laugh. And stop saying you're single. Say you're a spinster.
Brazilian.
Annoying. And I'll tell you for why. I live in Manly and there's a lot of Brazilians there and they're all sort of quite young and really attractive and I find that a bit annoying.
Oh, you meant the people.
Do you find that they also tend to play drums?
And she is one now.
You really know you're in trouble when the set is being critical.
Oh my God, it's a Dalek! Jesus God. That's the first time the set's fucked off on us.
It's like the Nazis all over again coming down the truck.
It was part of our Transformers cross-promotion. Well, sadly, nothing's going to be as funny as the set from now on. Okay. Tattoo.
No.
Secret?
Can't tell you.
I understand. Tennis.
That's all they're doing now.
Yeah. Do you like that? Do you favour that? Or
I
do you
don't
just
like it at all.
You don't like
no.
it? Fake.
Laugh.
Orgasm.
Schnitzel. Well, look, I don't have sex, but I do really enjoy a schnitzel. And
we're going to go a little bit deeper now.
Oh,
I don't know
God,
if it's
I thought we were
wise.
done. Okay.
No, we've got another 5 sheets of this. What was your nickname at school?
my nickname at school was actually Chucker. And anyone who has seen Land of the Lost, you know that little Wookiee creature in Land of the Lost? His name is Chucker. And that's what my friends very kindly thought I looked like.
I like that, yeah. I didn't get one. I didn't have a nickname at school. It's one of the great sadnesses of my life. Thank you for being so sympathetic, everyone. Love it. It's just Paul McDermott.
Full name?
Full name, always.
Everyone always calls it.
I was the only McDermott, I was the only Mac in the school that didn't get his name somehow reduced to Mac. Even people that weren't called Mac were Macca. Paul McDermott.
It's a fun one, isn't it?
Not even Dermy?
Nope, nothing.
Geez, talk about Johnny No Mates.
Yep. Yes, I realised that when I was young, Mikey. Thank you. If you could speak to one animal, what would it be?
I would maybe talk to the whale or whales, maybe more than one. Is that like, yeah. Just to say, what are you doing? You know? And also, because I'm sure, I would love to hear what they've got to say, because I'm sure they're just resting. You know, and then all those hippies come out and start pushing them back in, and they just go, look, we're just resting. We've been swimming for decades. We need rest.
What's the funniest thing you've ever seen?
When my brother was small, this was a very good joke, because you've got to remember, he's about 4 years old, right? Now, he came out into the living room and he went, hi, everyone, look what I've got. I've got this pair of undies and 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 truck undies! And he finished on truck undies. And what I liked about that was that at 4 years old, he had clearly thought backwards and thought, I want to finish on the big finish of truck undies and put them on first. I really admired him for that. Oh, well thought out gag at 4.
Are you a good flirt?
No.
No.
No,
No
just
good?
no.
No, right?
No. Look, I'm late 30s and single. I think that's your answer.
Can you give us a demonstration of how shocking you are?
Yes. Here's me trying to chat someone up. I didn't think you were interested anyway, so why don't you fuck off then?
If you released a fragrance, what would it be called?
I just was imagining, especially something like this, if I just released a fragrance. And we could all name it together. I would call it... oh, you know what I would call it? I would call it One Squirt. It's like instructions in the name. Just one squirt is enough. I say that to all the ladies who get there and... Stop stinking us out of buses and trains with all your perfume. Just one squirt. Be nice.
No, I just saw all these women in Myers like going, have you got any bottles of One Squirt? I just like it.
Honey, what would you like for Christmas? One squirt.
Okay, I didn't think it through. Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Kitty Flanagan. Can you now make welcome to the couch, Frank Woodley? It wouldn't be a gent's fragrance, would it?
We'd have to put out 4 shakes.
You ready for this?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. We're going to begin with word association.
Okay.
Home.
Heart. I can't guarantee this is going to be amusing, so I'm going to try to say it in a funny way when I give just an unfunny answer. So, start again.
Home.
Heart.
Ladies.
Man.
Injury.
Injury, health. It's just the opposite.
Yeah.
No.
So is ladies' man like ladies' man? Or is it ladies' man?
Yeah, that's not really the opposite of the... Yeah, okay.
It doesn't have to be the opposite.
No, we're not. It's just a whole... It's just a word.
Nipples.
Milk.
Why not?
Milk,
Nipples.
that's what they're for.
Well, not mine. I think you'd have a hard task getting
Although that is kind of what are yours for, really?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Well, good loving, I suspect. Shall we go a bit deeper with you, Frank?
Oh, OK.
How would you describe yourself as a kid?
I've got a head and I've got a... Oh, no, don't describe myself as a kid. Right, sorry.
You can interpret it any way you want. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Corinne's gone.
If you worked in a circus, what would your job be?
Well, at school, you know, I wasn't the class clown at school. I was the class human cannonball.
How does the human cannonball work in a student situation?
Well, that's the thing. You have to be very diligent and prepare ahead. Which they never mentioned on the reports. Frank doesn't listen in class. Frank just gets shot across the room.
Do you have an irrational fear?
Fish, but it's not that irrational because it's the huge ones with the big teeth, the sharky ones. Actually, I was on a pier and somebody had caught a shark there and it was on the pier and I was walking along and I just saw it and I went, wow, that is, you know, it was awesome. It was about sort of 5 metres long or something. And it was a big shark and I saw it on the pier and I thought, you know, I wonder what a shark feels like. You know, are they smooth like a dolphin or would it be scaly like a fish? Or...
Have you felt a dolphin before?
Well, no, I have actually at SeaWorld. I went on one of them and I caressed one. Platonic, it didn't get weird, although a dolphin did show me its penis once. That's a different story. This is true.
Dolphins are up for it.
You know how this is absolutely... I swear this is true. I was on a boat going dolphin watching, got all excited, thought it was all going to be lovely. This is completely true. This dolphin came up and I'm standing up on the boat and it looked at me, I swear, eye contact, right? Then just rolled over on its back and had an erection. I swear, rolled back, then off.
But strangely, you're scared of sharks.
Yes, but the shark, I thought, I wonder if it's going to feel... And I thought, well, I could just touch it. And finally, I mean, it's dead, it's clearly dead. So I sort of walked over a little bit and then I thought, well, is it dead? I mean, yeah, it is. And I looked at its face and I thought, yeah, it's definitely dead. Yeah, it's definitely dead. And I spent about a minute building up the courage, making my way over, and just as I touched it, a guy sitting on a seat beside it went... I did a back somersault, I swear. And then he eyeballed me, showed me his penis and swam up. No, it was funny.
Have you ever been fired?
Out of a cannon. You almost did the joke because you said the question.
A monkey in Amsterdam. Monkey. Why did I get that wrong? A monkey in Amsterdam once did a similar thing that your dolphin did to you. To me,
you?
Eyeballed me, looked at me for quite some time. Instead, holding onto the cage, then just... little tiny monkey penis came up and he jerked himself off while watching me.
Were you ever so slightly flattered?
I didn't leave.
He was so drunk, he still thinks it's a monkey.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you please thank Frank Woodley? Coming up, the bin.
It's Good News Week. It's Good News Week.
This is 7 things for the bin. What do our guests want to chuck out and never speak of again? Mikey, would you start the binning?
Well, as a proud New South Welshman, I would like to just throw this idea around that after many decades, I think we're all a little bit over the state of origin. I think, state of origin, very 80s. Let's bin it for a couple of years, maybe.
Frank, this is really probably, it's just a personal thing for me, really, but there's a particular model of toilet seat. Guys I only come across them about once in every 20 wees. Just very annoying. You lift up the lid, you start to wee, and it falls during the wee. And then you're just like, how do I... And it's just that I'd like them to...
No, Frank, seriously, I was in a hotel once, and that came down, and I thought I was actually going to have to saw through my own penis to escape.
Were you kneeling?
I'm incredibly well endowed.
Oh, I get it now. It took me a while. I see. Big penis. That's right.
Speaking of penises, I just think a little bit too much fuss was made of that poor Tasmanian footballer who got caught on change room cam with his penis out.
Yeah.
No? Nobody saw that?
I did, yeah.
I feel like everyone caught... Well, you know, like he wasn't meant to have it...
He purposefully took it out.
Took it out, but look, that's just how Tasmanians say hi, Mum.
Oh, dear.
Maybe what he was trying to do was show everyone his truck undies. This isn't something that I never want spoken of again. This is someone who I would like to stop speaking until he learns how to do it properly.
Yeah.
Is Kevin Rudd. Oh, my God! Oh, my God! For crying out loud. It's not fair shake of the sauce bottle. Suck it, suck it, suck it! It was fair suck of the sauce bottle! If you're trying to act like a normal person, then be a normal person! And with the whole Ute-gate thing, it drove me mental. Even though it's something going... It was a fraud, it was felonious, it was a fake. Just say it was a little bit shit and get it over and done with. Speak like a normal person.
Don't you reckon it's quite annoying because in terms of reading all the Ute-gate stuff,
He's
the fact that
furious, isn't he?
Yeah, and I reckon this has got to go in the bin. But I think we need to completely... The whole English language needs to go in the bin and we need to start again because there's a lot of things like, in the whole Ute-gate thing, you should resign. But when I was reading that, I'd always read it, you should re-sign. And it just confused me. You know what I mean? Resign, resign, same word, opposite meanings.
We've got to have a good going over the English
We
language.
do, start from scratch. And speaking like casualty, should it have the word casual in it? No, there's a lot of problems there.
Anybody else got something
Yes,
for the
I've got someone for the bin.
Someone?
May I? You won't read it anywhere else because Richard Wilkins was the only person who decided to announce that Jeff Goldblum was dead.
Yes.
And didn't he think he had the scoop?
Oh, yes.
He's reading it out, he's thinking, why is no one else reporting this? Because it wasn't true, Richard. That's why.
He fell off a cliff while mountaineering in New Zealand.
Was Richard talking to Godwin Gretsch?
Richard got it from a website where if you scroll to the bottom, it says... The content of this website is 100% fabricated. So Dickie Wilkins, eat it.
And it was when he was announcing that the tragedy of the King of Pop was dead as well on the morning show, and everyone's giggling and having a great time. So happy, those shows are so happy. And he came out, and if anything is going to overshadow Michael Jackson being dead, it's Jeff Goldblum, the Fly, falling off a cliff in New Zealand.
It's great. They really thought they had the trifecta because they had the King of Pop, they had Farrah, and then here we go, number three, Jeff Goldblum gate. We're away. It was terrific.
I thought the Christians got it wrong, that the rapture was going to start with celebrities.
See, here's the other thing. Have you ever looked at Richard Wilkins and gone, someone shaved Chewbacca?
Have you ever looked at Richard Wilkins and thought, there's a man who knows what he's talking about?
Actually, while we're talking about Michael Jackson, the biggest idiot was the family lawyer who came out a few days ago, and in a quote about he was so worried about the amount of prescription pills that injections Michael was taking, he said one day he'll wake up and find himself dead. So to the Jackson family lawyer, try harder, son.
I'd like to throw in the doctor who recommended that he inject those pills.
Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts.
I don't want to bang on about Michael Jackson because Lord knows I'm already sick of it, and it's very sad that he's dead, but for God's sake, I'm sick of people saying, what a shock. He'd been walking around with an oxygen mask and mostly in a wheelchair for 10 freaking years. How is this a shock?
He was certainly very pale.
I don't ever want to hear about Senator Stephen Fielding ever again. OK, he says, you know, the globe isn't warming. Of course it is. It does every day. You know, the sun. And I don't think it's safe to have a man with our nation in his hands who is a happy clapper. So, Stephen, back to your hole.
Yeah, the bin's doing it again.
I'd like to put my local newspaper in the bin, if I could. You know, local newspapers where, like, rather than proper journalists who add gate to everything. It wasn't Watergate Gate, it was just Watergate, a building. But, you know, local newspapers where they have a bit of a go at the news, and my local paper recently reported that there had been 3 sex attacks in the street where I lived. Now, they didn't say they were sexual assaults or violent attacks. They said sex attacks. Now, does anyone else think that sex attack implies you are going to come round a corner and there's going to be some pimp dude standing there going, bum, 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 sex attack, sex attack, I'm coming at you with a sex attack. That is not the right use of the word.
For me, marijuana.
Marijuana for Paul, please.
You don't know what it'll do to you. Have you seen those ads, marijuana? You don't know what it'll do to you. Smoking, cancer of the leg, your womb will fall apart, your whole mouth will just get cancer, and you'll look intensely ugly. Ice, you'll cut yourself with razor blades and think cockroaches are coming out of your skin. But marijuana, nobody knows what it'll do. think of a better campaign to scare the kiddies? Oh, watch out, he's dropped the football. Oh, you watch out for that one. Be careful of that one getting the young people. It's got to be more frightening than that, doesn't it? Marijuana. You don't know what it'll do to you. I'll tell you, make you bloody hungry. It'll make you bloody hungry. You want to eat stuff you normally... Oh, chips! I'll have some of them, I think. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's nothing. Ooh. You don't know what you don't. Oh,
you don't know.
Okay, you don't know what it'll do. You don't know what it'll. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Strange but True is next.
It's the news week.
Time to unveil those strange but true stories. Mikey, Kitty, Tim, you had the bee.
I have this feeling like, if... Imagine, like, you're a village and the Viking longship comes and then I come off first. Yeah, knock yourself out, bee Viking. Ridiculous.
The Band-Aid.
Yeah.
It's a regular-sized Band-Aid. I'm just tiny.
And finally we have...
They double as undies, but you don't smile as often.
And finally we have this.
Oh, sing it with me.
Oh, I couldn't possibly.
Come on, you know you want to.
I couldn't, could I?
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul McDermott.
I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. And when it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. I guess you'll say, what can make me feel this way? My bee. Put it back on. Talking about my bee.
Buzz, buzz, buzz. Oh.
So how much honey the bees envy me.
Oh, look at Paul, he's got all the honey. We just got nothing. I am
Got a sweeter song.
Oh, yeah.
Than the birds in the trees. I better go back. I guess you'll say, what can make me feel this way? My girl,
His girl.
my girl, talking about my girl,
Honey,
my girl.
So we should get together and save the orphanage.
Hello, my name's Richard. Sorry I couldn't be here today, but
Richard, that's his name. Now, boys and girls, if this is a bit racy for you, then there's one that's exactly the same, just without the swear words. Can you pick which one is which? No, I'm serious, can you?
What?
I love it. I just love you with your head up a bee's ass. It's nice.
I just like a little bee to go, you think you're uncomfortable, Mikey? Think about me!
I don't care. Well, it's all to do with getting well, which is what the Band-Aid would indicate. Getting better. And, you got no idea, have you?
No. I know that you can use honey on a bee sting, or is that a rumour like wee on a blue bottle sting? Is that not true either?
You know, it's really hard to arrange. Depends where the blue bottle gets you, but... It's from a tree and it's tricky. It's tricky.
Well, it's been talked for years that honey does make you better, but they now reckon there's an Australian sort of honey, Melaleuca or something like that, that's got...
That's a tea tree.
Yes, that's the thing.
I know it! No, I don't.
It's the bees that eat the tea tree honey, because tea tree oil can cure any... Seriously, if there was a plane crash, my wife would turn up with a jar of tea tree fruit. She reckons it cures everything. Oh, your head's off. Have some tea tree oil.
Why don't they just put tea tree oil on them?
Because by the time it's gone through the bee system, it becomes stronger. And so they reckon that this honey can cure massive. It's good.
Well said, Mikey.
Someone also told me that you can use honey as a contraceptive.
You've got to stop. You've really got to pick who you're talking to.
What's it like? Come back to my place, babe. Honey's a contraceptive.
Honey is definitely a contraceptive, but, you know, you just have to keep using more and more of it until you find out how much you need to use. Like, ultimately, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if you plug the hole with honey.
Yeah.
I can't believe the king of pop missed out on that one. You would love that. Love that moment. OK, so...
in fact, I reckon it can kill some of the new super bugs that are out there.
They do have it. Yeah. 10 points. Super bugs. Researchers have found a type of honey sold in health food shops kills every kind of bacteria thrown at it. This is the first time in recorded history a product in a health food shop has actually been proven to do something.
Tell me all about it, Paul. I'm listening.
That's what marijuana does to you.
There you go, that's it. Manuka honey, or jelly bush honey as it's known in Australia, even kills antibiotic-resistant superbugs. But if it kills superbugs, why doesn't it kill the bees? They can fly, they're super.
Actually, you know that scientifically and aerodynamically, a bumblebee shouldn't be able to fly. Not funny, just true.
The same could be said of an elephant.
You don't know what it will do to you.
You don't know what it'll do to you. I'm talking to you. It's going to freak someone out on their couch at home.
Yes, you with the wizard bong.
And you still think we're just talking about a generic kind of stoner, but we're talking about you, John Smith. You. Yes, you, with the long hair. There's got to be one.
Yeah. If applied externally, the honey can cure bites, cuts and infections. Plus, it makes your scabs taste delicious. But be warned, honey is not a reliable contraceptive. No. Although, it can be fun to try.
I suppose the hard part's getting the hive on your penis.
Has that come back again?
After the break, Corinne does things with a cricket box you won't believe. Time to unveil those strange but true stories. Claire, Frank, Corinne, you had the musical equipment.
What? Feel the power of rock!
We also have the sporting equipment.
I'd love to, but I'm already feeling it. Oh, and I forgot my mouth guard.
And this.
Because I did, I sang a song once on, because I'm not a great singer, and I sang a song on some show, and then it was put on YouTube, and I spend most of my time watching my own stuff on YouTube. And I did see that there was, you know, the little feedback things, and people were saying, this guy's a shit singer. But other people, you know, they stood up for me, and they also stuck up for me. English language, resign. What's going on? No, some people in the forum, they stood up for me and they said, he's not meant to be a good singer, he's a comedian. But nobody said, I reckon he is a good singer. So, sorry about this, but... Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. Love is in the air, with every sight and every sound. And I don't know if I'm feeling something. And I don't know if I'm feeling wise. There's something in there somewhere, and it's there when I look in your eyes. And now, ladies and gentlemen, box solo! What's that all about?
I don't know, but I just want to show Corinne Grant and her musical box.
And you're on the right network for it.
Yeah. I didn't think we would find new lows to sink to.
But
what's the story?
Look, I think this is a clue, to be honest. Because I'm quite interested in air guitar, and there is a new competition. I read that I haven't seen any of it, but there's some sort of competition that's just started up of air sex. And I think that's what this is about. I think this is...
How lonely would you have to... Oh, Kitty, maybe... Listen.
No, she didn't.
She started it. She's the one... She's laughing. It's fine.
You are your own person.
She's a spinster too.
No, seriously, but they get together for schnitzels.
No, I think... But it is quite great because the only thing young boys like to do alone more than pretend to play the guitar is pretend to have sex. So I don't look...
I'm wearing sporting equipment, so is this some kind of
I think that just references competition. Yeah, so it's an air sex competition. I don't know. I have many questions.
So you do a performance acting like you're making love to someone?
I think the idea is you...
Making love.
You're
gorgeous.
In fact, not making love to someone, making love with someone.
But that's the thing. That's the confusing thing about it. Like, I mean, but you could because so many of those scenarios require like at least some support or at least counterbalancing.
No. I could do it like this.
And I could do it like this. Oh, we're done.
How would you do it, Claire?
I mean, I don't know if you... Yeah, right.
Everyone else has shown. How would you do it?
Why don't you do it, Kitty?
Right. Okay, you're all going to have to just queue up.
Oh, I'll show you how I do it. This is my schnitzel right here.
Getting up.
I have a lot of questions, that's all.
I have a lot of
I don't know if they play because like air guitar, you play your favourite tune and you mime along to it. So what do you... Like, is it the soundtrack to your favourite scene?
I don't want the soundtrack to air sex at all.
It's upsetting Grandad here. They have it right, sadly. Air guitar has a new competitor, air sex. Instead of pretending to play, contestants get 2 minutes to meet, seduce, and have air foreplay. Finally, air sex. 2 whole glorious minutes. 2 whole glorious minutes. Way to make an invisible girl feel special. Training for the competition is intense and guaranteed to have your gym membership revoked. It's not as easy as it sounds. Real orgasms are against the rules, and you also have to be careful you don't accidentally root someone's ghost.
That's how Casper was born.
Oh, Michael. Air sex. Air sex is similar to air guitar, except you've got to get the fingering right. Sorry about that, mums and dads. Stay tuned, airheads. Fast Money is next. Oh, here we go. The hoax game of dodgy fun. Kevin Rudd's Fast Money. In London, a family has been warned their mail could be stopped after their pet attacked the postman. What is this pet?
I don't know. You tell me, love. Hamster?
It's a tiger.
You're in the right...
lion.
Leopard.
Is that kitty cat?
Thank you very much. It's a kitten. Oh.
Kittens can hurt if you shoot them out of a shotgun.
In Florida, a council has issued a new dress code for its employees. What are they required to do?
Wear pants. I gotta put Dax on.
Can you be more specific with the type of pants?
Underpants.
Thank you very much. They're also prohibited from exposing their undies, wearing sexually provocative clothes and having piercings anywhere except the ears.
Oh. Who's going to check that?
Who are they working for, Nana?
Would you have accepted
Council.
panties?
Yeah.
How disgusting is that word?
Oh, I love it.
Panties.
And it's creeping in, don't you reckon, more and more?
Really?
I mean, not creeping
creeping
in.
up.
I reckon it's revolting.
In Malaysia, a kung fu master has entered the record books for doing something with his index finger. What?
Coconuts. I saw he broke a whole lot of coconuts with his finger.
He broke the world record. And the weird thing was he broke his finger on, I think, the second one, and still managed to smash another coconut.
But I got that right, didn't I?
Yes, you did get it right. Frank did get that right. 2 points. In the UK, a bride has cancelled her wedding just weeks before the big day after she found out her husband's dark secret. What was it?
He was a porn star.
Thank you very much.
Why would you decide not to marry him?
Yeah.
Clearly on the wedding night he'd give it a fair crack, wouldn't he? He'd know what he was doing.
Dialogue beforehand would be golden. Gee, it's hot in here.
So, you know, can I just ask a question? You're doing this thing where you turn to these people, which is, it'd be us if you turned that way, and you ask a question, and then he answers it.
Yeah.
And then you turn to these people, and you ask a question, can we answer it?
Yes.
I mean, I've seen the show before, but why are you turning to them and turning to them?
I'm trying to indicate...
It's confusing. That would be very confusing for a stupid person.
I'm trying to indicate that the question is directed towards that team or this team. But it doesn't
You
seem...
can't, by directing a question at that person, that doesn't indicate that the question is directed at that person or that person.
Do you know if you rub chickens on the breastbone, they fall asleep?
In Germany, a financial advisor who lost millions of dollars was kidnapped and tortured by a gang of angry clients.
I know!
What was strange about the clients?
They were old. Like, really old. They were like geriatrics, weren't they? Maybe I don't know. OK, back to them. Thought I knew that one.
They also beat him up with schnitzels.
No, with a Zimmer frame.
No, you're right.
They banged them with a Zimmer frame.
Yes,
It wasn't a car chase, it was a Zimmer frame chase.
Kitty's right.
I love this bit where he does the maths.
You won't love it in a second.
Oh, you mean I don't win the lounge suite?
So in the naughty corner tonight, Mikey, Robbins, Kitty Flanagan and Tim Ferguson scored a wicked 151 points. Punished by Claire Hooper, Corinne Grant, Frank Woodley on 154 points. ten.com.au/GNW is the address if you want to get the podcast, see the special stuff, or hire an escort from our new agency, Australia's Next Top Scrubber. So we say farewell, King of Pop, sleep well, Macaulay Culkin, and leave you with the... Too early? Too early. Too soon? Oh, I apologise. That's a bit rough, isn't it? That's a bit rough. I apologise. We'll leave you now with the good news for the week ahead. Deputy Prime Minister Julia Gillard will give a speech at the Western Australian Business Breakfast on how to get a free breakfast in Western Australia. Pamela Anderson will turn 42 and her breasts will turn 11. The government will hold public consultation on the carbon pollution reduction scheme, where they'll attempt to explain the difference between actual pollution reduction and a scheme. You can go to the Perth International Film Festival to catch a foreign film, or you can face the other way and watch a room full of people moving their lips. And George W. Bush will turn 63, which is 8 in special boy years. Good night.